All right, today we're jumping into a world where science fact is honestly wilder and way cooler than any science fiction you've ever seen. We're talking about real animals with honest-to-goodness superpowers.
So let's just get right to it. Do superheroes actually exist? I mean, when you think of super strength, or regeneration, or crazy built-in weapons, you probably think of the movies, right? But what if I told you all of that stuff is real?
Oh yeah, they absolutely do. They just, don't wear capes. They're crawling, swimming, and slithering all around us. So let's get into it and meet some of these real-life heroes. First up, we're talking about extreme offense and defense. These are the true masters of the first strike and the last stand. Seriously, these are the creatures you really don't want to mess with, because they are packing some of nature's most mind-blowing weapons. And kicking things off is the bombardier beetle. It looks like just another bug, right? But this little guy, which you can find pretty much everywhere, is packing some serious, and I mean literally, serious heat.
Yep, you're seeing that right. 100 degrees Celsius. That's the boiling point of water. When this beetle feels threatened, it blasts out a chemical spray at that temperature. It's an instant, boiling hot defense. No joke.
So how in the world does it pull that off? Well, inside its abdomen, it has these two chemicals that it mixes together. The reaction is so violent, it creates a boiling, high-pressure spray that shoots out with this loud pop. People have actually compared the sound to the engine of a World War II rocket. And yeah, it's powerful enough to kill smaller insects on the spot and make much bigger predators think twice.
Okay, next up, we're heading underwater to meet a real gunslinger, the pistol shrimp. And don't let its size fool you. This tiny thing has one of the most powerful punches in the entire animal kingdom. This is just mind-blowing. For a tiny fraction of a second, the punch from this shrimp creates a bubble that hits 8,000 degrees Fahrenheit. To give you some perspective, that's almost as hot as the surface of the sun. The sun!
So its secret weapon is this one giant claw. It snaps it shut so fast, like unbelievably fast, that it creates this little air pocket in the water. It's called a cavitation bubble. When that bubble collapses, it unleashes this huge sonic shockwave. It's enough to stun or even kill a fish nearby. It can even shatter glass. Oh, and get this for a bonus power. If it loses that special claw, no problem. It just grows a new one.
So you've got two totally different approaches here, right? The beetle is all about chemistry for defense, and the shrimp is using pure physics to go on the offense and hunt. Just two incredible powers, used for completely different reasons.
All right, let's move on. Our next group of superheroes are the ultimate shapeshifters. We're talking about creatures that can literally redefine their own bodies.
First up is the mimic octopus. Now, a lot of octopuses can camouflage, sure, but this one is on a whole other level. It doesn't just blend in with a rock, it actively pretends to be other animals.
And the way it does this is with these amazing little things in its skin called chromatophores. Think of them as tiny, tiny bags of pigment that it can squeeze or relax. This lets it instantly change its color, its pattern, and even the texture of its skin to match pretty much anything around it.
And the disguises it can pull off are just incredible. Scientists have seen it pretend to be a venomous lionfish to scare off predators. It can twist its body to look exactly like a deadly sea snake. It'll even flatten itself out and glide along the seafloor like a flatfish. As far as we know, it's the only animal that can impersonate such a huge range of other creatures. Okay, so from changing your shape to completely rebuilding it, let's talk about the axolotl. This amazing little salamander from Mexico has a healing factor that would make any comic book hero jealous, for real.
And I'm not just talking about growing back a tail. No. The axolotl can regrow an entire leg perfectly with no scars. It can repair its own heart. It can fix its eyes if they get damaged. And this is the one that gets me. It can even regenerate parts of its own brain. It is the undisputed master of biological repair.
Okay, for our last section, we're going even further, beyond the biological limits we thought we knew. These are the animals that seem to just break the rules of life itself, rules about aging, pain, even sight. First up, the Tutara. Now you might look at it and think, oh, that's a lizard, but it's not. It's actually the last living member of a group of reptiles that was around 200 million years ago. It's a true living fossil, and it's hiding a pretty wild secret. Right on top of its head, tucked away under the scales, is a real, fully formed third eye. Now, some animals have little spots that can sense light, but this is way more advanced. The tuatar's parietal eye has its own lens, a cornea, a retina, the whole shebang. It's even connected to the brain with a nerve. We're still figuring out exactly what it uses it for, but make no mistake, it is a genuine working third eye.
And now for the one that really seems to laugh in the face of death, Turritopsis dohrnii. You probably know it as the immortal jellyfish. And yes, it is the only creature we know of on this entire planet that is biologically immortal.
So, how? How does that even work? Well, when it's an adult and it gets stressed out, maybe it's injured or there's no food, it does something absolutely unbelievable. It can basically tell all of its cells to go back in time, reverting them to their earliest form. It turns itself back into a baby, a little polyp, and just starts its life cycle all over again. It literally hits the reset button.
Our last superhero might just be the weirdest one yet, the naked mole rat. This little mammal lives deep underground in East Africa, and to survive down there, it has evolved a whole bunch of superpowers that make it, well, pretty much indestructible.
I mean, just listen to this list. They are basically immune to cancer. They can survive for almost 20 minutes with no oxygen at all. They're insensitive to many kinds of pain. It's all because of the tough, low-oxygen world they live in. It's like a whole comic book team's worth of powers all packed into one very strange-looking animal.
So, what's the takeaway here? From boiling chemical weapons and sonic punches to regeneration and actual immortality, it's pretty clear that nature is the most creative inventor there is. These superpowers aren't magic. They're just brilliant, incredible solutions that evolution came up with to solve some of the planet's toughest problems.
And that just leaves you with one last really exciting thought, doesn't it? These are only the superpowers we know about. Imagine what else is still out there, hiding in nature, just waiting to be discovered.